Alright, let's take a look at part B. For each of g prime of negative 3 and g double prime of negative 3, find the value or state that it does not exist. Well, let's just state that it doesn't exist and move on, shall we? No. You gotta see if it doesn't exist. Then you can state that it doesn't exist if it does not exist. But they exist, because I did this problem before. So, for g prime of negative 3, what is that? G prime. Ooh, that's fancy. G prime. Well, what was g? G was G is an integral. If you take the derivative of an integral, you use the fundamental theorem of calculus. You just put the x right in there. So g prime of x equals f of x. And then normally I'd be writing this neatly so I can, the reader can understand what I'm saying. But I'm trying to make a video, so you could do it on your paper. Find the value or state that it doesn't exist. So you don't have to justify anything, but I know right now that g prime of x is just f of x, and it wants to say what is g prime of 3 negative, so that's the same thing. G prime of a negative 3, that's the same thing as f of negative 3. Yeah? What is negative 3? 1, 2, or 3? Oh, look at that. It is 2. It is 2. It is 2. Equals 2. So there's the first part of the answer. And actually, you might be thinking, like, wait a minute. Hold on there. Hold on. How do we know it lines up perfectly? Well, we don't. What we could do, though, I mean, I know, because I did it before. Because I'm pretentious, I think. This line, you can find an equation for that line using these 2 points, just like we did in the last part A, the last video. If you find an equation for that, then you could just plug in negative 3, and then you would get 2. So if you want to justify it, that's how you would justify it. You get the equation for that line segment, and then plug in negative 3. But it doesn't ask us to justify, and I know that it is that, because I did actually do that. So maybe, if you have time, do that just to make sure that it is actually 2. So, what next? What is a g double prime? Ooh. So if g prime is f of x, then g double prime is the derivative of f, which means the slope. Oh, it's the slope. So what's the slope of this when x equals negative 3? What's the slope then? Oh, it's just that slope. Well, I can just count it. I start at, looks like I start at 1, and I rise 1, 2, and I run 1, 2. Yeah? So the slope is just 2 over 2. So the slope here, g double prime of negative 3, that's just positive 1. That was quicker. Okay, I'm going to be done with that part. Moving on to part C in the next video. I'll see you. I can't see you. I won't see you later. I can't see you.